I have beef with the hair loss industry as a whole. I'm Travis with Scoutmasters, and today I'm going to uncover what I believe is wrong with 90% of the hair loss industry: PRP, exosomes, finasteride, minoxidil, and red light therapy. The problem with all of these mentioned treatments is that they are marketed in a way that is misleading at best and fraud at worst, depending on the treatment. Let's look at things with some actual research behind them, like PRP, minoxidil, and finasteride. All of these have a lot of research behind them showing that they do improve hair quality. Now, if you know me, I lost all my hair to an autoimmune condition when I was 21. I took finasteride, things went south. Finasteride was marketed to me as something that would regrow my hair. Same thing with minoxidil.
Finasteride can and does nuke dihydrotestosterone by up to 70%.
Which is especially important for central nervous system function, libido, and motivation. And it's definitely not something that's gonna get your hair back like ARC or a hair transplant, so it's not at all worth it in my book.
Minoxidil is a better option. I hate how it's marketed, but it does something very different than finasteride in that it opens your potassium channels, increases blood and nutrient flow, and prolongs the anagen phase of your hair. And because it doesn't block DHT or alpha-5 reductase, you're not going to see the side effects that finasteride has.
Minoxidil is definitely the better option because it's just applied topically. It helps you keep what you have. Again, it's not going to regrow your hair dramatically, but after a hair transplant or after ARC therapy, it's definitely going to help you keep what you've regenerated and restored. Thirdly, in this section of treatments, we look at PRP. Again, has a lot of research behind it. It's nowhere near as promising as ARC therapy or a hair transplant. I've been seeing patients for 10 years. Very, very few see any kind of results from PRP as far as hair restoration. While PRP is autologous and does come from your body, it has less than 10 growth factors. It has no living cells. It can beef up your hair follicle for a short time, but there's not going to be a dramatic regenerative effect, which is often how it's marketed as, which is annoying. Now we're going to look at stem cell and exosome therapy as is typically done in the US, which is almost always, if they're giving you actual stem cells from Wharton jelly or umbilical cord donor stem cells, or worse yet, just their exosomes, which are just growth factors and proteins secreted by the actual stem cells themselves that they separate and then will inject. Unlike PRP or minoxidil or finasteride, donor stem cell treatments for hair loss, the research is not there at all compared to ARC therapy or adipose-derived stem cell therapy. Especially for androgenetic alopecia, there is nothing. They're afraid to touch it because hair is quantifiable. The people I know, both through Scoutmasters and my personal life, that have received exosome treatment for hair loss have had no results. One of the biggest names in this space doing this exosome therapy actually cites adipose-derived research in their meta ads and passes it off as their own. Only adipose-derived stem cell therapy with special processing yields documented results in humans and quantifiable, often dramatic hair growth. And then as far as red light therapy, microneedling with things like copper peptides and ultra special gemstone essential oil supersonic shampoo, there's no regenerative results discovered in any of those treatments I just mentioned. And still, all of them are marketed aggressively as things that will regrow your hair. Just stop. If you want your hair back, depending on your hair loss and your goals, the three things I am always going to recommend are ARC therapy for almost everybody. If you are severely recessed and your follicles are dead in the front, an FUE transplant and then ARC, and minoxidil after both of those treatments to keep what you got. And if you wear your hair short or you're not worried about regrowth and just want to look better, scalp micropigmentation is a fantastic cost-effective option. That has been my beef with the hair loss industry. Scoutmaster's mission is to help everybody find the best treatment for their unique hair loss situation. We do free scalp assessments with me or another expert from my team who can point you in the right direction depending on your limitations, your goals, and where you're at in your hair loss journey. You can get a free scalp assessment at scoutmasters.com.